Okay, so we're doing storybook hour with the police here, and let's just take a look. My review is these guys suck, obviously, which we've already done. But okay, what kind of place thinks it's okay to forego justice for their own agenda? They take advantage of the weak and protect their own interests. Pitiful monsters. One review, 1 star review. Be afraid, be very afraid. Horrible place to live. Corruption is the justice system. Horrible place in DA. They ticket innocent people for made up reasons in order to collect revenue for the city. Do not recommend living here unless you have like being harassed by their so-called justice system or like paying through the nose for everything. If you were not from here, the harassment is far worse. It's easier for them to harass the people they don't know. That's the second review. Third review, no respect for the civil liberties of civilians, empowered by red state courts to do as they please with no accountability or oversight. If you're in the city for any length of time, you'll be pulled over. If you're anything other than an elderly local yahoo, you'll likely be searched and your rights will not be respected. No judge in the state will hold officer-friendly accountable for violating your civil rights. If you come from anywhere else, you'll likely be amazed at what law enforcement gets away with in these parts. Too many cops for a city of 72,000. Fourth review, officer came to my apartment looking for some guy who obviously did not live there. He insisted on coming inside looking around my apartment, although I told him the truth. I felt anxious, disrespected, and unsafe having an armed officer in my apartment for no reason. I wasn't treated with respect when he was coming to the wrong person's door. That's by Nina Sewell. Fifth review. Wife was thrown to the ground. Officer stated he has to consult the city attorney before taking the report since I only have power of attorney. Backwards selective policing. Ex-cop stole my whole paycheck, then charged me after cursing him out. City of injustice. Ratings are half. Half of anything is falling or failing or dead. Should tell you something. Do not live there. 2-year-old little boys, and another review. 2-year-old little boys playing good guy, bad guy. Okay, pulled over, another review. Pulled over on 9th Street. These are all 1-star reviews. For doing the same speed as the other 3 cars by me on 9th Street. Cop stated she pulled me over because she was in my lane. Not true, she switched lanes. Which means she chose to pull me over the other people. I don't think this is a correct thing to do when I was just following the flow of traffic. Very similar to the issue I ran into where I was just pulling out into the thing, trying not to get hit by the other cars and going down that hill. As soon as I saw the sign, I slowed down. Another one, consistent harassment on their part, it gets old. And another one, police are supposed to protect people. This department is committing gross violations of citizens' rights and the Constitution. They use prosecution to intimidate, threaten, and as a tool to get rid of the people they don't want to deal with. Even judges presiding over cases where officers of this department have illegally seized evidence, quote-unquote, of crimes, call the officers incompetent. So the judges are calling the police officers at Bismarck, North Dakota, incompetent. And another review, Ashley Wright writes, corrupt thugs who would rather protect big oil, corporate greed, and dollar sign, rather than human beings. Shame on you. Solomon Sewell writes in, I called to ask why they allowed dogs to attack protesters. Standing Rock with the pipeline, they directed me to call center, which would relay my request to appropriate party. I have to ask someone to tell them we protect children and peaceful forest from being attacked, pepper sprayed. Evil, which is what another guy wrote in. And another one, Carla. Nothing. Called and said that my daughter stole my car, and the police officer asked if I gave her permission to use my car. I have in the past, but not last night. He can't do anything about it. All he could do is call and tell her to return the car. Second car stolen with nothing done about it. That's a funny one. Okay, corrupt people willing to do it all for a check. That's basically what we've got here. Another 1-star. They would rather arrest underage drinking and focus on busting innocent teen parties rather than setting up checkpoints or tending to much worse offenses. Criminal activity can be downright terrible. Again, the same pattern of the same stuff I voiced. A lot of people in the community saying trivial stuff, but the real bad stuff and the real crimes are getting overlooked by these guys because they don't have the courage and the drive and the passion to actually go after real criminals. They're going to write stupid little tickets and play like little kids. Okay, quote-unquote, lame. Carmen Pearson writes. Caleb Cook writes, quote-unquote, dishonor and disgrace to all those who wear the badge. Audrey Mantel writes, quote-unquote, 1-star, discriminates, ignores natives in peril. Okay, going a little bit farther down. Bleezy, 1-star. We've got so many 1-stars, and they're older reviews, and they're not allowing there's just millions of 1-star reviews here, and they're not allowing the people to write because they're older reviews. But again, my review, these guys suck. They got roads with no speed limit signs. They were writing tickets. No one at the officer command desk. The cops and the city attorney don't use business cards, but write illegibly on note paper like kindergarten kids. And then I link to the blog, which has the videos. This video will be added there, and I respect law enforcement, and that's what kills me here. And I want to really underline and circle it because I am not someone who's anti. I think, you just got to do the right stuff, you know. And if you're gonna write a ticket and there isn't a sign to support, the guy might be speeding a little bit because he doesn't see the sign. So, you know, in that moment, that officer needs to be better managed and better trained, young cop, and he needs to use his situational awareness, give a warning, especially in the fact it's not someone from there. And moving forward, you know what I mean. You know, I think that there needs to be an effort within the city to make sure there's proper signage there, especially in light of the fact it is a YMCA, and on one side it is a you know, it is a residential area, so you want to make sure. And there's just in the newspaper just a little while ago, there's a person who hit a bicyclist or something on this area. So you want to make sure you keep people safe, and you want to make sure you've got good signage. And maybe the reason the bicyclist got hurt by the car, you know, in this thing in Bismarck, North Dakota, is because you don't have adequate signage. You know what I mean? And you're fucking around trying to get $10 tickets. So, you know, this is a city issue. There's an accountability issue here. And yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, I think that there are consequences, not just like someone saying something on a YouTube video. People are getting injured because you don't have good signage in your town. You got a bunch of negative reviews. We're not so worried about that. We're not so worried about you guys being corrupt. People are getting hurt because you're not doing things American. You know what I mean? And that's the essence of this.